Welcome to Reckless, from Wildflower, Rooted and Reckless, the podcast where Angela Walker sets dumpster fires and lets her light shine. Unafraid of hard conversations, this is where perspectives are challenged, minds are opened, and respect is the rule. Because agree to disagree is more than a motto.
Welcome to Reckless from Wildflower, Rooted and Reckless. I am Angela Walker. This is a sort of spin-off mini podcast of a larger podcast. This is the very first episode and a little more relaxed, I think, atmosphere. So I have had a hard time getting behind the camera and hitting record and really getting this thing off the ground, and real hard time figuring out how episode 1 should even run. I think from here on out I'll be okay, but I ended up using ChatGPT to give me a hand with some interview style questions that I could answer just to start, just to get me out there. So the questions are pretty intense. I was just taking a look at them and it's like, really? Chat, like, this might be a little much to start with, but we're gonna roll with it. So what have I kept quiet for too long? Probably all of my beliefs, to be honest with you. I really don't share a lot about myself if I can help it, because I feel like, honestly, I feel like if it doesn't align with what the other person thinks, then it can just cause a rift, and I don't know, people kind of suck, and they're more trouble than they're worth sometimes. And so then they, take these things that they think they know about you or that they've made up about you, and that is just their perception of you that they then share with everybody else. And so kind of like a roundabout way of where this podcast originated from and what I'm kind of working through in it is really owning myself, discovering myself, owning my story, and becoming who I am. What label or lie am I done accepting? That I'm not enough or that I'm too much? I mean, what the heck, people? Like, I'm too much. I do too much. I try too hard. Okay. I like doing those things. All right. Or it's just not enough. And this is where I come in. It's never enough. I mean, I'm always beating myself up thinking that it's just never enough. And that is coming to an end. I am doing just as fucking good as I can. Well, what am I still healing from, and what am I ready to own? Oh, gosh. Just like pop the can off that can of worms. I have healed from a lot. I went through a lot of healing when I learned to take responsibility. Grant Cardone became somebody that I resonated with and looked up to, and he is huge on taking ultimate responsibility. Like, yes, these things may have happened, but you made the choice to walk out the door that day, and it gets pretty extreme, and I think it's hard for some people to swallow, but for me, it was liberating. It was so liberating, and it made it make sense. Like, how did I get here? Well, I walked out the door that day. And I could own that, I could swallow that, and I could take that responsibility. And so that's been a huge part of my healing process, just in general. I've put myself in some pretty fucked up situations, to be honest with you, always trying to save people. And so it's come with a lot of trauma that I kind of brought upon myself. And so, yeah. That's a big one. Okay. What am I ready to own? Well, okay. So that goes hand in hand. What am I still healing from, and what am I ready to own? As far as what I'm still healing from, I would say probably myself, and I am my worst critic. I talk the most shit to myself. I tend to beat myself up. I don't have a really great reason as to why. I want to be really good. That's my jam. I love doing things well, and I love the attention that comes from that. Okay. But I don't want to do it too good to where now others are upset with me It's a hell of a conundrum to be in, to be honest with you. I know I'm not alone in that. And if I am, well, then I don't know. Sucks to suck, I guess. What part of me scares people and why am I done shrinking it? Whoo-wee, girl. All right. So the part of me that scares people is the part that I'm not afraid to say the thing. I'm not afraid to speak up. I'm not afraid to advocate. I think what scares people is their perception of me. Yeah. And I think what scares people is my willingness to have open conversations, but my unwillingness to just run across their bridge, and I am okay with to each their own, or just saying agree to disagree. Like, that's not a bad word to me. I'm totally okay with that. And I didn't realize how many people kind of get offended by that. And they think that, like, if you engage in a conversation, it has to end up one way or the other. And that's not how I roll. It's very much, I may actually come over to your side of the street at some point, but it's probably not going to be today. And it might not be because of this conversation. And I just expect that same, right? Like, I'm not expecting you to be like, oh my gosh, yes, you're exactly right. My whole mind's blown, it's just little seeds that get planted along the way. But more importantly, it's just broadens your horizons of experience, to be able to see different perspectives and different beliefs and things like that. If I could scream one truth into the world right now, what would it be? Stop being so offended. Everybody's so freaking offended. If we disagree, it's a problem. If you have a belief system that I don't want to participate in, it's a problem. I'm not out there beating anybody or saying that you have to think this way or be this way, or you're some sort of lesser substandard human. That would be one truth I would scream to the world is chill the fuck out. Stop being so offended. Stop thinking everything is some sort of attack on you. Open your mind, like actually open your mind. It blows my mind how many open-minded people are actually super close-minded. Like, they're the ones that really are unwilling to see the other side. Okay. So a good example of this is the pronoun situation. Okay. I don't care. I don't care if you want to, I don't care. I don't care if you want to be he, him, she, her, whatever the case may be. Okay. I honestly try not to use pronouns anyway, because even before this whole thing started, sometimes I got it wrong. Right. And sometimes I've gotten it, like, people have gotten it wrong, okay, Mr. Walker or whatever. So it's true. But anyway, I really tried not to use pronouns anyway before this whole issue started. But here's my thing. The they, them. I'm just not going to participate. It's nothing. No judgment. Again, I don't really care. I just am not going to participate. I'm not going to call a singular person a plural pronoun. It's just not going to happen. And so my thing is, I understand you want to be called they, them. And I understand you feel that somewhere inside of you. Okay, that resonates with you. And I'm not telling you that you cannot go by that. What I'm saying is that I'm not going to participate, but I can keep an open mind and say, okay, you know what? It resonates with them and it feels good to them, and it's whatever, they're going through, just like we are all going through things in life. Like, that's the part of their journey that they're in right now. Fantastic. So same, I would appreciate and expect that same acknowledgement back, right? Like, you're being real with me. You really believe that you should be referred to as they, them. And I'm being real with you. I really don't believe that should be an option for a singular person. Okay. And that's okay. That doesn't mean I can't have a cup of coffee with you. That doesn't mean that I think any better or less of you. All right. It just means I'm not participating. That's all it means. And I just want that same respect back. Stop letting our differences be divisive. Okay? Stop letting our differences be the device that divides us. Our differences are beautiful. They're all a part of our journey. The most judgmental people are the people crying, please don't judge me. Seriously. Okay? I've never seen anything like it in my life. Literally, these people are screaming, don't judge me. And I'm not talking about like a particular type of person. I'm saying like people, a big blanket statement. Okay? I have seen everything from prim and proper to active addict to Democrat to Republican to liberal to independent. I mean, just across the board screaming, don't judge me. And it's so interesting to me because they are typically the ones who are judging others, right? Like they are some of the most judgmental, and maybe that's why they think that everybody's judging them, because they're actually judging everybody else. But if we could just stop doing that, things would probably go a lot smoother around here, you know? I mean, we have to be able to have a conversation where we don't agree, and that's okay. Like, that's fine. It's not a big deal, right? Like, I don't have to cross over into your territory. I don't have to come into your truth. You don't have to come into mine. You can do you, hang out on your journey, figure out what works for you, what doesn't. I'll do mine. But what you can't do is then demand that I participate in yours. Okay? I don't have to call you they, them. If you're one person, I don't have to call you a plural pronoun. Period. And you should be okay with that, right? Like, if you don't want to call me Mr. or Mrs., you don't have to. If you don't want to call me Mrs., you don't have to. I'm not going to be upset by that, right? Like, if you're just like, I don't like the constructs of pronouns or genders or whatever the heck, right? Fine. Don't participate. I like them. It works for me, okay? Don't participate. Don't call me Mrs. That's fine. You're do you. It's okay. But I feel like that would be what I would scream from the rooftops, like, calm the fuck down. Stop taking y'all self so seriously. It just blows my mind. We're here for like a blink of an eye, right? And then there's eternity. And we're hung up on stuff that is just, it's just not that serious, bro. So with that being said, we are going to wrap up this first episode of Reckless. From the next episode drops next Thursday. If you haven't already, check out Wildflower and Rooted. Wildflower is more of a storytelling platform. Rooted is getting rooted in Christ, in God, and working through some Bible studies. Have a good day, everybody.
You've been listening to a Wildflower Rooted and Reckless podcast production with Angela Walker. Catch Wildflower drops on Tuesdays, Rooted on Wednesdays, and Reckless on Thursdays. Subscribe wherever you listen. Stay wild, stay rooted, stay reckless.